Hey everybody, welcome to the CCRN PCCN question for today. Today we have a GI question. It's about time we throw one of those in. So you have a patient that's admitted to the ICU with acute pancreatitis. The critical care nurse would anticipate any of the following complications except, well, let's take a look at this. A, beta cell injury resulting in elevated serum glucose. B, autodigestion of the pancreas resulting in elevated serum calcium. C, injury to the type 2 pneumocytes resulting in ARDS. Or D, atelectatic changes to the left lower lung lobe. Take a moment, think about it, and we'll just go from there. Okay guys, so let's go over this one by one. So we are looking for the thing that is not a complication of pancreatitis, right? Because the question says the critical care nurse would anticipate any of the following complications except. So of course we're looking for the thing that's not a complication. So let's look at A, beta cell injury resulting in elevated serum glucose. That is a definite complication with pancreatitis. The beta cells, as you know, are the ones that put out insulin in response to the serum glucose level. If the beta cells are injured in pancreatitis, they will not be very efficient in being able to send out enough insulin in order to maintain glycemic control. So we would have an elevated serum sodium. Elevated serum glucose. Whoops. Anyway, moving on. So we know A is definitely a complication of pancreatitis. Let's move on to B. B, autodigestion of the pancreas resulting in elevated serum calcium. This answer is half correct. And this, by the way, B, is the answer to this question. Well, let's talk about this. Autodigestion of the pancreas. Yep, that certainly is a complication of pancreatitis. And when we see autodigestion of the pancreas, we have liberation of a whole lot of bicarbonate. Bicarbonate is very alkaline, as you know. And when we think about pancreatic secretions, for example, they have a pH around 8. So they're very alkaline. So when we have autodigestion of pancreatic cells, we're going to have a lot of release of bicarbonate, which facilitates the binding between calcium, in other words, our circulating calcium, and free fatty acids out in the bloodstream. So what happens is ionized calcium, that's the stuff that interacts with tissue cells, ionized calcium becomes bound, and therefore your overall calcium level will drop. Now, if you want further proof on this, think about when somebody has pancreatitis. We know that when somebody has pancreatitis, we have to monitor for things like seizure and tetany. Why? Because the calcium level falls. So that is not something we would see. So the critical care nurse would anticipate any of the following complications except for an increasing serum calcium related to autodigestion. That's your answer. But let's do the other two. C, injury to type 2 pneumocytes resulting in ARDS. Now, type 2 pneumocytes, if you'll recall, those are the cells that actually produce surfactant, and they help to keep the alveoli from fully collapsing during exhalation. We don't want the type 2 pneumocytes to be injured in any way, shape, or form because we will have less surfactant and increased alveolar collapse. So certainly then, we could have as a complication of pancreatitis that we have injury to type 2 pneumocytes because acute pancreatitis can cause systemic inflammatory response. And we see the impact of that in the pulmonary vascular bed as well, that affects the type 2 pneumocytes ultimately. Last but not least, atelectatic changes to the left lower lung lobe. That is due to all of that inflammation that is occurring over on the left. So yes, indeed, we can expect to see atelectatic changes as far as the chest x-ray is concerned, and we can also hear atelectatic changes when we listen over the left lower lung lobe, and they come to us in the form of crackles. So how did you do on this one? I hope you guys enjoyed the question for today. Please head over to my website, khoppypresents.com. I have newly updated my website and would love to have you visit. Take care until the next time. Bye-bye.